everyone, myself Professor Khemchand Surana. In previous session we have started with the anti-cancer agents. In that we have seen the introduction of the anti-cancer, then causes, then cell cycle. Further we have seen the classification of anti-cancer agent, their mode of action, and we have started with what the cytotoxic drugs introduction and alkylating agents. In that we have started with the nitrogen mustard. Okay, so in nitrogen mustards we have seen the basics of nitrogen mustards, then different examples, that is what mechlorethamine, cyclophosphamide, ifosfamide, mefalfam, okay, then chlorambucil. So till this we have learned into what the previous sessions. So now today we will start with what the mechanism of action of the nitrogen mustard, and this is what important as per your GPAD examination also, and also your theoretical exam also. Okay, so basically how these nitrogen mustards were act, so they were acted by these 5 steps. Okay, the first step is what intramolecular nucleophilic attack. You can see the in square I have given a green color to these particular steps, and these steps are what important. Okay, so first is what intramolecular nucleophilic attack, then intramolecular attack step second, then step 3 is what again intramolecular nucleophilic attack, again step 4 is what intramolecular attack, and last one is what hydrolytic depurination. So all these steps we have to see. So first is what you can see the bis beta haloalkyl amine means what the bis beta haloalkyl amine is what the basic structure of nitrogen mustard. This is we have seen in last session. You can see the basic structure. Okay, nitrogen Nr, then CH2 Cl. So means 2 alpha carbon will be there, 2 beta carbon will be there, 2 chlorine will be there. Okay, so in first step what will happen, basically intramolecular nucleophilic attack will be occur. So whatever the lone pair, you can see the lone pair has been given, the lone pair from this nitrogen will attack to the beta carbon, and there is what removal of chlorine. Okay, and this is what intramolecular nucleophilic attack. It gives what azidium ion. You can see the azidium ion structure. Okay, so by this intramolecular nucleophilic attack, azidium ion will be formed. Okay, now next is what whatever the DNA strand will be there. Okay, so 2 base pair will be there from both strands. These nitrogen mustard were from the cross link between these both strands. So from one strand there is what purine or pyrimidine base will be came. Again there is what a nitrogen will be there from purine or pyrimidine bases will be there. You can see the structure of this particular pyrimidine base. Okay, purine pyrimidine base. Okay, so lone pair will be there. It will attack on what the carbon of this azidium ion, and there is what cleavage of this azidium ion, and you will get alkylated DNA fragment. Okay, so whatever this guanine, okay, guanine, so with guanine this azidium ion will alkylate this guanine. You can see the basic structure of alkylated DNA. This is what intermolecular attack. Now further again one more chlorine will be there. So nitrogen will be there, he has what lone pair, it will attack on another beta carbon, there is what removal of chlorine, you will get step 3. Okay, that is what intramolecular nucleophilic attack. So by this you will get azidium ion. You can see the azidium ion with one end is what guanine DNA analog, means what one end already alkylate the DNA molecule. Now it turns off what the second end. Okay, so again another base will came and it will attack on the another CH2, it will break the ring. Okay, by this you will get the cross link DNA. You can see the cross link DNA structure. Nitrogen R will be there, CH2 at both end, and guanine DNA will be there. So this is what the cross link DNA. So by now hydrolytic depurination, 2 DNA means what 2 damaged DNA will remove, and you will get the guanine and bis alkyl amine analog. Okay, so this is what how these basic nitrogen mustards were act through the alkylation process. I hope you will get, just practice this reaction. This is what important as per your examination. So now the mechanism already we have discussed. Okay, so generation of highly reactive carbonium intermediate ion that will attack on the electron rich side of the DNA, such as N7 or O2, O6. This position just remember for your GPAT examination, okay, electron rich sites on the DNA. So N7 is there, O2 is there, O6 will be there, position of guanine, and the N1, N3, N7 position of the adenine, okay. So this is what about the mechanism of action of the nitrogen mustard. So now adverse effect of these nitrogen mustards are basically marotoxicity will be there, lungs, cardiac, endothelial damage, then pulmonary fibrosis, nephrotoxicity will be there, secondary leukemias are major long term effects on these agents, okay. Now further we'll discuss with what the chemistry of the nitrogen mustard. So now the chemistry of the nitrogen mustard is that basically the structure of nitrogen mustards differs only in the nature of third group attached to the amino nitrogen, okay. Already we have seen the basic structure of the nitrogen, okay. So nitrogen will be there, on nitrogen there is R substitution, okay. So these nitrogen mustards were differ at this position only, okay. So whatever the R group which is substituted on this amino nitrogen, this group which can be either aliphatic or aromatic, this is the prime determinant of the chemical reactivity, okay. So basically whatever this group basically substituted on the nitrogen, okay. So this substituent either aliphatic will be there or aromatic will be there, and this substitution basically what determinant of chemical reactivity of this particular structure. Then oral viability and the nature, okay, this is also suggested by these particular substituent on the particular amino nitrogen of the basic structure, and also the side effects, okay. So the aliphatic nitrogen substituent, for example CH3, will releases the electron to amine through the delta bond, whatever the sigma bond, okay, through the sigma bond. So whatever these aliphatic nitrogen substituent will be there, okay, for example CH3 will be there, so they will releases, okay, the amine throughout this sigma bond. This electronic enrichment enhances the nucleophilic character of the lone pair of the electron and increases the speed at which the delta, okay, means what, inductive, positive inductive effect will be there, okay, at which basically beta carbon, okay, of the mustard will be attacked, okay. So whether in the tumor cells or healthy cells, as soon as the azidium ion forms, it will react with the unpaired DNA and or other cell nucleophiles, such as electron rich sulfur group will be there, means mercapto or sulfhydryl group will be substituted, or hydroxyl group will be there, or NH amino group will be there. These amino of the amino acids on the enzymes or membrane bound receptors, okay. So the body water can be also react with these particular nitrogen mustards and inactivate them, okay. After inactivation they will form what, azidium ion, okay. So conversely an aromatic ring substituent, for example phenyl conjugates with the mustard nitrogen, will stabilize the lone pair of electron through resonance, okay. So whatever the resonance delocalization significantly slows the rate of intramolecular nucleophilic attack, azidium ion formation and DNA alkylation. So aromatic mustards have reactivity sufficiently controlled to permit oral administration and attenuate the severity of side effects. So the higher stability also provides the chance of enhance the tissue selectivity by giving the intact mustard time to reach the malignant cells before generating the electrophilic azidium ion. So nitrogen mustards can decompose in aqueous media through the formation of inactive dehalogenated diol, which will shown in figure, will look into the figure, okay. So both mustard nitrogen means pathway A and the oxygen of water means pathway B. We have to see this pathway through the structurally, okay. can act as a nucleophile to advance these degradative processes. The decomposition reaction can be inhibited if the nucleophilic character of these atoms is eliminated through the protonation. So, buffering solutions to slightly acidic pH helps to enhance the stability of aqueous solution. So, you can see the whatever we have discussed in the previous slide, that is what the aqueous decomposition of the nitrogen mustard. Okay, so basically two pathway will be there, pathway A and pathway B. So here we have seen pathway A, that is what nitrogen mustard, and pathway B, that is what the oxygen of the water. So both were given over here, you can see. So basic structure of nitrogen mustard given. So by the aqueous, the molecule will reaches to what aqueous region, and this is what water molecule will be there. So they were attack at what beta carbon, you can see the BB. Okay, beta carbon will be there. Okay, so this is what the B pathway. Okay, B pathway means what? Oxygen water molecule will be there, and removal of Cl will be there. Through that 2 HCl molecule will remove, and inactive dehalogenated diol will form. Okay, you can see the inactive dehalogenated diol compound. Further in pathway A, that is what nitrogen mustard pathway. So the chlorine will remove basically, and formation of what? Azidium ion. Okay, you can see the azidium ion structure. So again they were in contact with what? Water molecule, and whatever the azidium ion will break. Okay, azidium ion will break, and removal of HCl, and initially what? The dehalogenated or the monohydroxy active mustard you can call, or mono halogenated molecule, you can see the structure. Okay, further from this again lone pair, the nitrogen having lone pair, so it will attack to the beta carbon, removal of HCl, and formation of what? Azidium ion. Through again this azidium ion will in contact with what? Your water molecule, and it will form the inactive dehalogenated diol. So this is what the process of decomposition of nitrogen mustard. Okay, so just practice this, important as per your examination. So further the next subclass from this alkylating agent is what? Aziridine derivatives. Okay, so aziridine derivatives. So thiotepa is what? The one and only example from this category. So these were converted rapidly by the liver mix function oxidase. Okay, so this will converted by what? Liver mix function of oxidase CYP2B1 and CYP2C11. Okay, to its active metabolite. Okay, active metabolite is what? Triethylene phosphoramide. Okay, means in short you can call TEPA, TEPA. Okay, which is a source of azidium cation for further alkylation. Okay, so what will happen? Whatever this thiotepa will what? Rapidly converted into what? Their active metabolite through liver mix function oxidase enzyme. Okay, and this is what the active metabolite, that is what? TEPA, which is what? The source of azidium ion for further alkylation process. So this thiotepa given IVly. Okay, so in bladder cancer, ovarian cancer, and breast cancer, this azidium ion has been utilized. So side effect of these azidium derivatives means thiotepa is what? Myelosuppression and mucositis. Okay, so these both side effects were of this thiotepa. You can see the thiotepa structure will be there. Okay, triazine ring will be there, you can see. Okay, so the basic structure of thiotepa given. So again the mechanism of action of thiotepa of DNA alkylation. So again similar mechanism as like your nitrogen mustard, whatever the nitrogen mustard in that we have seen. Okay, so similar kind of mechanism action. Thiotepa will be there, DNA nucleophile will come, and in the presence of water the thiotepa will form. Okay, so from this thiotepa and tepa, okay, so they will leads to what? Hydrolytic azidium release. Okay, hydrolytic azidium release will be there, and whatever the azidium ion will be there, that will interacted with the DNA nucleophile and form the alkylated DNA. Simultaneously the direct alkylation is also occur through thiotepa, and alkylated DNA has been formed. Okay, so alkylated DNA has been formed. So this is what about the mechanism of action of mechanism action of the thiotepa, that is what azidium ion. Draw this and practice this. Next class from this category is what alkyl sulfonate derivatives. Okay, so from these alkyl sulfonate derivatives, the Busulfan is the example. Okay, so Busulfan is the only one structure, okay, or the drug from this category which is used as an anti-cancer agent. Okay, so Busulfan is chemically classified as alkyl sulfonate. Structure has been given over here: CH3SO2O, CH2 4 times OSO2 CH3. So one or both of the methyl sulfonate ester moiety can be displaced by the nucleophilic N7 of the guanine, leading to monoalkylated and cross-link DNA. So what will happen basically? So either one or more of these sulfonate, okay, here is what 2 sulfonate given, okay, in the sulfonate ester, okay. So they were displaced by the nucleophilic N7 of the guanine, okay. So DNA having what nucleophilic region at N7 position, that is what guanine, okay. So they were leading to what monoalkylation. Through this monoalkylation there is what cross linking has been formed, okay. The extent of alkyl sulfonate mediated DNA interstrand cross linking has been shown to vary with the length of alkyl chain between sulfonate ester with the tetramethylene containing Busulfan showing less interstrand cross linking capability than hexamethylene, methylene or octamethylene analogs. Okay, so what they have explained here, so whatever the alkyl sulfonates, okay, so they were what mediated the DNA interstrand cross linking, okay. So already we have seen the DNA having 2 base pairs. So whatever these Busulfan will come, initially monoalkylation will be there, okay. So means they were attack on the one base pair, okay, one base pair, then after that they will attack on the another base pair, means one molecule will attack to the 2 base pairs, okay, and form the cross linking between them, okay. So these Busulfan basically useful in the treatment of chronic leukemias, okay, and given orally or IVly. So this is what about the alkyl sulfonate. Again you can see the mechanism of action given, again similar mechanism of action as like your nitrogen mustard, okay. Just need to remember the pattern of the structural mechanism, okay. If you remember the pattern how to write the mechanism of this alkylating agent, it's easy to you for remembering these kinds of mechanism of action. So again the Busulfan structure given over here, okay. So whatever the base pair will come and it will attack to the beta carbon, okay. CH2 4 times given over here, means what, at one CH2 these whatever the base pair of the DNA has been attacked, and removal of what CH3SO3 minus, okay. So initially what will happen, complex with this guanine DNA has been formed. Further another base pair will come and another CH3SO3 will remove, and you will get the cross linked DNA structure. You can see the cross linked DNA structure, okay. So this is what about the mechanism of action of Busulfan. Just practice it and remember the pattern how they have given, how this will whatever this mechanism has been going on, and it will form the cross link between the DNA, okay. So the side effect of these basic Busulfan derivatives is what the chronic granulocytic leukemia were developed, then hyperuricemia, then delay pulmonary fibrosis will be there, okay, then myelosuppression will be there, then nausea, vomiting, impotence, amenorrhea, fetal malformation, okay. So these are what all the side effect of Busulfan. Now the next category, that is what nitrosourea derivatives, okay. So these derivatives will look into the next session. Till that thank you and happy learning.